Hey, folks, welcome to Affiliate Nerd Out. I am your nerd arrayer, Dustin House, spreading that good word about affiliate marketing. Today, my guest, Wade Tonkin's coming in, talking about PI Live and our experience last week. Wade, welcome to the Nerdatorium, sir.
Thanks for having me back in the Nerdatorium, man. It's awesome.
Yep, two-timer club over here with Wade. First conversation was about affiliate management tactics, but today we're going to be going through everything we saw in PI Live. Just the experience that I had was outstanding, and I want to recap for the audience that didn't end up going. A lot of new friends, a lot of new faces that I met. Let's start off with the good, Wade. What did you see out there?
Yeah, I think definitely it was a little bigger than last year, which is cool. And my background is I've been to the PI Live in London. I've been there 3 times. It'll be my fourth coming up in
Yep.
October. And they've definitely been trying to get established over on this side of the pond. And last year, I think they said they had about 700. Felt a little bit smaller than that. This year, they said they were, I think, just under 900, and it felt about right. I mean, so I think the numbers were up a bit. It's still not big like Affiliate Summit, but I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily.
Yeah.
I thought that the quality of people that was there was fantastic. Lots of good solution providers, some good publishers, some really good brands. And so all in all, I think that, from a quality versus quantity perspective, it was fantastic. So lots of good conversations, some pretty good tech solutions that I'm kind of geeking out over.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Go
some good
on.
some good publishers as well. Oh man, I'm not gonna put my cards on the table yet. I gotta
No.
I gotta get some
Okay.
stuff hooked up. But um, and it was crazy because I mean I am I didn't have necessarily a super loaded up slate of meetings on the first day. But the second day, I was packed pretty much start to finish. And on the first day, I actually had one of my best conversations where it was just a drive by. Guy saw me walking through
Yeah.
the exhibit area before everything even fired up, and said, "Hey, I've been looking to connect with you," and kind of ran me through what they were up to, and it was cool stuff. So. One of the things I kind of liked about this one was that the layout I thought was pretty cool. It was definitely better than last year's event. I like the fact that we kind of had like a whole floor to ourselves for the event. There was lots of meeting room, lots of meeting tables. I mean, there was usually, if you went into either one of the two big meeting rooms, it seemed like there were tables available pretty much all the time, which was cool. I didn't you know and then the one of the things I probably would have changed about the meetings that they had those bars as meeting areas, and like
Okay.
the foyers for the actual content room.
Did I lose you, Wade? Wade, did you go away? Hope it's not me. Hmm. Maybe technical difficulties on Wade's side. I don't know why he's frozen, but I'm going to carry on. Oh, maybe he's coming back.
Here we go.
Oh, he's back. All
Okay,
right.
man. I gotta. This is weird. I don't usually have internet issues, but today it seems like that's the thing.
Oh, it does. It's just a bad day. Francisco said, use Titanic music. Hi, Wade.
Hey,
Awesome. So you brought up a lot of good things there on the good side of. I was really impressed by the table situation. There's only one scene where I saw the entire room was filled, like the tables
okay,
were booked, which was a good thing. And that was just one room because I know the other rooms had other opportunities, so there was no shortage of tables in this place where you could go. But the most impressive part of all that was the app was just spot on, telling you where to go and where to be and which room to be in, uh, which was a absolute disaster at Affiliate Summit from a perspective of like trying to figure out where your next meeting was. And then it gave you that 5-minute buffer too, which was very clutch. to wrap your meeting up and say, I've got to get to my next one kind of thing. So I had ample time to go across the venue and get to that next table if it was in a different room.
Yeah, and it was the venue isn't huge, so you definitely 5 minutes was plenty of time, to get from one meeting to the other. And I found myself in a lot of situations where I had like one table booked and I was like two tables over for the next meeting. So it was actually super quick and painless to go from one to the other. So that was cool. I mean, all in all, I think the meetings were really good. I mean, it was a pretty good system. I'm not a massive fan of that app. I mean, I think that swap card app it's got some rough edges to it.
Okay.
I think that the web experience is a lot better than the mobile app experience,
Okay.
in terms of just having better access to everything. But um, I do like the fact that they give you the ability to like print out a PDF of your meetings. So it's like you can actually have kind of a hard copy in the event that you don't have, amazing connectivity. Like apparently I'm having today. Um, but yes, that was cool. I mean, there's definitely some cool things about it. I think all the shows seem to be using it, so I guess in the end, I better kind of figure out how to optimize that thing because it doesn't seem like it's going away.
Yeah.
And um, kind of is what it is. But I mean, I don't think I've ever seen like a completely amazing conference app to this point. So nothing is perfect. So we just kind of make the best of what we can. Um, yeah, I think so. It's good that the meetings were definitely good. I didn't get a chance to check out as many of the networking events as I would have liked to. Um, I know that I saw a lot of cool pictures from the Moxie mixer. Did you get out to that one?
I
The
didn't,
Rack and Pin event?
or did I? No, I didn't make it to that one. No, because it was off base like a mile, and
Yeah.
like, yeah, and I forgot to sign up beforehand, and so that it was closed off to me.
Yeah. Last year, I think they had a bus that was taking people over,
Uh,
from the show hotel over to South Beach because it's a little bit of a drive, to go out over to South Beach. But the venue is really cool. I mean, it's a cool rooftop, nice view of the beach. It's always interesting. They got like little pools in the middle of the bar, so you always end up with somebody sitting in the pool having a drink. So it's always kind of entertaining. Makes for some good pictures.
yeah.
Last year, Jeremy from Upsell It was in there a pretty good piece of the time. This year, he and his buddies got sunburnt all the hell at the beach because they went out to the beach before that. So that was kind of
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. He had best sunburn. That was a category we were gonna put on here.
And wearing the white button up shirt really made that sunburn pop. So it was a cool
Perfect.
look for Jeremy.
Great luck. Great luck. Other good thing that I said that I absolutely loved, and I got this feedback from other folks too, is the speed networking. I absolutely
Mhm.
love the speed working net events at these kinds of events, but they did this one really well. They put advertisers on one side, publishers on the other side, and he just marched down the row after 3 minutes. And I was able to sell like a dozen of these Affy Stash demos like in a very quick fashion. I was very excited about that opportunity. I would like to see more speed dating, not just like publisher advertiser, but like agency merchant, like vendor advertiser, like mix it up in some kind of other fashion. I think it would be really smart. But the way they did it at the tables was better than I've ever seen at an affiliate summit. So like that.
And it was crazy 'cause I was signed up for all those, but I didn't make one of them because I
Ah,
just ended up stacking up my meetings. So
that happens like every
so I didn't
time.
get a chance to catch any of that. But I was signed up for all of them. And there was like 4 or 5 different ones that were kind of broken out by vertical or something like that. So it seemed like there was a lot of good opportunities for it.
For sure. If anybody else has any good things, drop it in the chat. Let us know. Tell us about it. We're gonna move on into the bad. So I don't like to shun down. I didn't have a lot of bad things to say about this, but you brought up like maybe the standing tables out there at the bar. There was a little bit of confusion.
I didn't think it was super necessary, to be
Uh,
honest. I think there was so much other, room that was a lot better for having those conversations. Because I mean, for me, I'd
mhm.
rather not be standing around a tall boy,
Yeah,
having that conversation. And since they had so much meeting space in the two rooms that they had set up for that, I didn't think it was super necessary.
hmm.
Um, you know, the the pricing on the bars was a little like upstairs in the actual area. Was it the Tipsy Flamingo, and there was another kind of something. It was like a donkey or something like that. The
Yeah.
two bar names of the bars on the floor. The pricing on those is pretty crazy, and I know that a lot of people are going up and checking out. And it looked like you'd have to like mortgage your house to get a glass of wine or something like that.
Oh
So that was
no.
a little bit dicey. I didn't, and I'm not sure if it's just that they're still kind of new and getting established with that. But a lot of shows that we go to, we're kind of used to having hosted bars and stuff like that, and that definitely wasn't. But that
No.
said, I wasn't looking to drink a lot during the day, so it really, I mean, didn't ding me a whole lot. And
Yeah.
the after hours opportunities were certainly there if you wanted to go out and have good food and drinks. So that wasn't awful, but it's like just to go and get a Coke. I think it was like $10 or $11.
Wow.
Before they broke out the stuff that was free that you could go and hit at the tables, but the bar
Okay.
setup was a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Little, takes a little bit of getting used to, but all in all, I think the one thing that the check-in, go back to the goods, the check-in, I thought was fantastic. I mean, the registration, it was really
For
easy to
sure.
get your badge. So that was cool. The accessibility of the team from Hello Partner was really good. I mean, Matthew and his crew and Drew were always kind of wandering around. They were easy to catch up with and give
Sure.
feedback to. So that was kind of cool. I've known those guys for a long time, and they work their asses off to make that show go. And so it was a lot of fun to see those guys running around once they've already got everything going. It seems like the stress level on that stuff is always at the greatest before you get everybody there and start to see everything just be able to get going and kind of taking care of itself. So but I like that team. I mean, they're a lot of fun, and they were putting together some fun activities like the run in the morning that I didn't go to, that I'm still kicking myself over.
Hmm.
Drew was leading a kind of a networking like 5K run
Oh,
on I think Wednesday morning on the show.
smooth.
But I love it when they go and try to find just different kinds of ways you can get people engaged and having conversations.
Yeah.
They seem to be pretty open minded to doing that. And I've always found that crew to be super open to feedback and suggestions and requests and stuff like that. So kind of, I guess that's kind of one of the benefits of the show still being relatively small and upcoming, is that they're really looking to try to find ways that they can get it bigger and to get kind of more buy-in from the US audience, because it's a different audience for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I lot of points to hit on there. That I didn't realize you were paying for drinks at the Tipsy bar. I was going into the VIP room and like getting free drinks, no problem. So I didn't have that problem. But like, um, they're in the industry where we're used to getting free booze. It's tough to like pull out the wallet, I guess. Um, Not like a lot of people are not paying on their company dime. Can you still
Yeah.
hear me,
Well,
Wade?
I
I'm,
think,
I'm lagging. I'm
yeah, one of
lagging.
the things, a little bit.
Okay, I'll catch up. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think and it really might just be kind of a growth thing with that show, in that if you go to the London show, it's a totally different deal, to where it feels like it's a few years ahead for sure, and
Mm,
it's more in the 2,000 to 2,500 attendee range. Still got the same kind of quality, because the one big difference I'll say is that PI Live tends to be more focused on kind of traditional retail affiliate versus having the CPA network and lead gen. There's a couple guys there, but for the most part, all the sponsors and everybody that was there was really kind of more around selling products, which for me is a
yeah,
retail brand works. You're not having to compete with all the noise on the meat market floor with all the CPA networks. So it's a very different show along those lines. But the London show is a little bit different in that it's kind of more open bar, a lot of open bars and stuff like that. I mean, there's still um, it's not tough to find a drink on the floor, is what I would
uh,
say once
yeah,
once the show gets going, because somebody will have them at their booth, or um, you know so there's just a little bit, it might just be a little bit further along to where they've been able to kind of develop that sponsor base a little bit further.
Okay.
to where there's a little bit more money flowing into it versus, right now where they're just kind of trying to make the name for the show and build the following in the US.
Yeah.
And so they're a little bit, probably a little bit, tighter on the budgets than, the bigger shows might be.
Gotcha. And then going back, good thing that I saw is I never had a problem getting water or any kind of beverage. Like there's plenty of it
Yeah.
around, and I could fill my water bottle really quickly between meetings. And affiliate summit, it felt like it was difficult sometimes to find a jug that was still filled up, oddly enough. But um, just the little things, a lot of really little things that were on the good side rather than the bad side at this event, which I was really impressed with. All right,
Yeah.
moving on. What about a best session? Did you have any sessions that you attended that you really liked?
I didn't get a chance to catch many of them, and honestly, I think my own was the only one that I sat through fully. So, which you got up and left in my session. I was just getting ready to answer your question. I was super
Yeah,
bummed
yeah.
because I saw your question on there for forever, and I was like, I got to get to
I
Dustin's, and then I saw you get up, and I was like, damn it.
I off actually. I was so upset he kept skipping my question that I just decided that I was leaving. So that's on you, Wade. But I would have voted yours top if it wasn't for that. But
They
unfortunately,
put
you
you to the
got
front of the line.
bumped. Well,
No, and we had fun.
I
I mean, I thought
absolutely.
I had a great time. I thought that I liked the MCs that they had because Jim Nichols is fantastic. He was a lot
Yeah.
of fun running the stage that we were on. I caught a bit of Trisha's session with Gary Keibel, and that was cool. It's always fun you get lawyers who are actually funny. So it was Gary's always entertaining, but he always gives good information too. So that was some pretty cool discussion. What was yours as far as sessions went? What did you like?
I mean, you like I said, you got second because you didn't answer my questions. But keeping pace with progression, like the influencer trends, there's Aaron Paul was up there, Sam Katz that I just met, and a couple of others. But they dropped some really good knowledge on the state of influencer marketing and the conjunction into affiliate and how agencies, it was just really set up well. They put an agency up there, they put a publisher, they put a or an influencer, they put a merchant, and then they had a Sam as like the guy that's working with all of them. And so it was just really well done. Um, okay, we got a little chat going on here.
We can just see if we have questions up there. But yeah, in the end, I mean, I thought that they did a pretty good job of putting together a pretty good survey of a lot of the hot button issues that people are talking about. And I'm always curious to check and see kind of where that influencer versus affiliate discussion stands. Because I really feel like in the influencer situation now is like bloggers were 15 years ago, where
Yeah.
they were going to blogger shows and being told, hey, you got to get sponsored posts, you shouldn't do any of this affiliate stuff. And then they would come, they would come to affiliate summit, or we would start crossing over going to blogger shows. And for a bit, Joel and Karen and I at GTO were running the affiliate program for Blog World. And so, we were getting sessions on there, talking about affiliate and how we could, be a part of the revenue mix for blogs. And we started to see kind of those walls come down. And I feel like influencers is kind of on the edge of that, to where obviously people still would love to get sponsored posts if they can, or sponsored content if they can, but they're realizing that, hey, there definitely is an additional stream of revenue out here that we should be paying attention to. And I think that a lot of the vendors out there, the SaaS platforms or the networks are all trying to become a lot more influencer friendly or more creator friendly, or buying up platforms on their own that they can work into the mix. So I think that we're getting pretty close to having that wall broken down. I think there's
Yeah.
always going to be some people that are going to be able to demand top dollar, but I think there's definitely going to be a market
And the
shift here where we're going to
fact that
start seeing
those
more people coming in for hybrid deals, or
yeah.
coming in for straight rev share.
And the fact that those platforms are adding in like the TikTok affiliate and competing things in that nature is helping the industry move forward in that, and opening some eyes, educating those influencers to the power of of the money they can make. So I'm very interested in it, and I'm always trying to keep up and with that industry for sure. Um, do you feel like the sessions at this event were like there was more, or there's less, or there's less relevant than the one over on the London side? What's your take on that?
I think it was about even, honestly. I mean, I think that as far as like the content piece of it went, I thought they were on point. And I mean, the main stage um, at PI Live in London might be a little bit bigger, but in the end, I mean, I felt like they did a pretty good job of getting some really good sessions with some good names together and some good brands that were involved, so people would want to actually go check them out. I was pleasantly surprised, with the turnout for ours. I know that the turnout for Trisha's wasn't bad,
Mhm.
um, and and it's always tricky, trying to figure out, kind of what success looks like in terms of drawing crowds for those, because I mean, so many people are there trying to maximize their meeting time. And I know for me, and this is something
Right.
that's kind of unforgivable as a conference veteran. I did a really, really crappy show of blocking out my schedule,
Ah,
for protecting meeting times versus protecting sessions, because there were definitely some sessions that I wanted
yeah.
to hit, but then once I started to see interesting, I didn't want to limit myself. And I figured, in the end, the publisher meetings are probably going to be more important to ROI on the show. So I sacrificed that, but looking back, I wish I would have blocked out a couple more and just said,
Yeah.
"Hey, this is one I really want to catch, so I'm going to leave this time off of the meetings
Yeah.
request block." But all in all, it seemed like the topics were spot on. They seemed like they had pretty good people in there, talking about what was going on. I thought they had an interesting mix, because I know that in a lot of cases now. And a pretty marked turn from like the way things used to work with Affiliate Summit, where it wasn't kind of a pay to play thing.
Hmm.
For the speaking slots now at Affiliate Summit and at PI Live are sponsorship related, but they also will leave some space in there to bring in just speakers and topics that they think are going to be interesting. And we were I think Brian and I were both in there, from LG. We were both in there just because we kind of jumped in and said, "Hey, if you guys have any openings, we'd love to get in there and talk talk
Yeah.
affiliate." And I'd actually gotten in touch with them and said, "Hey, if you have like any MC options or anything like that, I just want to be involved because I really do like the show."
Yeah.
And then they came back and said, "Well, hey, if you got some ideas for for topics, we could get you a spot." So Brian and I were able to put together something that I think worked out pretty well. But I think there was a decent mix of that. And so to me, I think that the risk of being totally sponsor connected with that is that you can end up getting the same company or the same person talking multiple times, and it
Hmm.
starts to feel a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure. And I find a good strategy, and I also fall into that pit of like, hey, there's too many good meetings. I don't have the time to go to these sessions and educate myself with this audience. But then I find a really good value in talking to the speakers afterwards a lot of the time. So I make it a point to make sure to go to 3 sessions that I really want to go to, and most of the time that's going to be the folks that I want to support, like you and Trisha, and go to those sessions and support the PMA and what we're doing there. But I keeping pace. I absolutely had to go to, and one of my newest friends here, Michael, who we met at AM Leaders Day, is just a rock star affiliate manager, like burning for education. I love her attitude. She liked that session as well. I saw her in there uh, after we had a few drinks at a bar with a big crew the night before, so we were both um, suffering together, which is great. All right, so
It's part of the bonding experience, is
it really
going
is. It
going out and
is.
then suffering together the next day.
Yeah. And speaking of that, she is my most impressive new connection. I saw her all 3 days. She was in AM leader um, session, which was absolutely great by Leanne and done very well. I learned a lot from that. Uh, Dean Sutton there. uh, picked up a book from him on the LinkedIn topics and how to grow your channel and how underutilized LinkedIn is. But I was really impressed by Michael and her personality and the way she's going about like educating herself, and she already knows a lot. So really impressed. How about you? You got any new connections you made?
Definitely. I'm like trying to look up names now because like I met so many people, everything is blurring together. But there was a new like NIL influencer affiliate platform that's actually funded. You're a baseball guy, so Scott Boras, the super agent,
Yeah.
invested in a in like an NIL influencer affiliate platform, and I had a great conversation with them, and we're super
Oh,
stoked to kind of follow up on that because I think that, I mean, college athletes are kind of a ready-made, um, you know, hotbed for affiliate marketing and influencer marketing. So I mean that was a really cool one. Um, I had a great time at AM Leaders as well. I mean, I think that's such a fun event, and I love the kind of quick hitting roundtables thing that we did. I think I wish we would have had a little bit more time because 10 minutes for three or four people to fire questions at you.
right.
You really got to kind of hammer through things. So that was
Yeah,
pretty crazy. But I did that in London as well, and that was a lot of fun. It was, I think, probably maybe 5 to 10 more people in London for the AM Leaders thing. But Leanne's awesome. I mean, she's one of my favorite people in the business.
for sure.
Her her commitment to education is really, and kind of teaching people how to do it the right way is inspiring, because that's, for me, I've been doing this for 25 plus years, and one of the things I really love doing is finding ways that we can bring up the next generation of managers to do things the right way. And not necessarily saying that's always our way. I mean, we like to think we do it right, but to at least give people some guidance and mentorship, and be able to share some cool content with people that are at a different stage in their career is a lot of fun. And
Oh, absolutely.
um, so it's been, I think, some of the content they put together in those. So I think some of the panels were really good. I thought the you know that LinkedIn session was ridiculous. I'm kicking myself for not, because I sat through that last time, and I'm in London, and I'm kicking myself for not doing any of that yet. But I mean, the live experiment that they did with showing how you can get visibility to your posts and get interaction, and really get things um, bumping on LinkedIn to get people interested, potentially interested in your program or your offer or whatever, was mind blowing. I mean, it's pretty cool to see somebody, see, actually it was Michael making a post and then ending up with like 900 engagements by the end of the by the end of the day. That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, very, very crazy the power of that. And Michael, I make sure you get your 500 connections so you can get over that chump line on LinkedIn. It's super important to your networking. I use LinkedIn, I don't know, at least an hour a day when I'm out there networking. So super important. Love that session. And then let's see, Elena, who I hung out with quite a bit, and potentially going to shorter sessions could be a good idea. It's hard to sacrifice 3 meetings for one session. It's a really good point. Like, but it is hard. Like you've got to come up with a presentation. You've got to come up with like quick meetings. Like it's really hard to do a 20-minute session in all reality. But I see your point.
Get
And
that
so,
whole TED Talks 18-minute blast session kind of concept, which
yeah,
can be fun. I mean, as a presenter, it could be kind of cool because it makes you really edit,
yeah.
and you really have to dial it down to like key ideas and be able to really hit it hard and hit it, and hit it fast. But it can be kind of challenging though to commit that kind of time or that kind of resource to sponsoring if you've only got that kind of that short of a slot. I know that a few years back, like when we just reopened from COVID, I went to Affiliate World. Actually, oh god, what was it? It was the show. It was a show in Dubai, and it was, God, it was, I can't remember the name of it now, but it was really insane in that we had a interesting mix of like gambling and crypto and then traditional affiliate. And they had Tom from Optismo and I come over there, and they ended up cutting Tom's session down to like 15 minutes, and he had flown like 18 hours. And then it's like, oh yeah, sorry, we had to shorten your session so you get 20 minutes. And
Brutal.
I originally had like a 1 hour session, and they told me the day, but like the night before, or it might have been that morning, that it was affiliate grand slam or something like that. But you're like, oh yeah, by the way, your 1 hour session is a 30-minute session now. So I had to go through my deck and like absolutely slice and dice and murder my deck to try to get it down to where I could get it inside that time frame and still leave time for questions. But yeah, I mean, I like some of those, but I think if you do like a healthy mix of those short ones and then having a couple bigger, keynote ones where you give people some time can be fun. Because if you do panels and you have three people and less than 30 minutes, you get through intros and you have time for two or three questions and you're done.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see enough sessions, like true sessions where somebody's up there speaking and teaching something rather than everybody seemed to be doing a a group setting and asking questions and interviewing, much like what this is, but like people learn in different ways. I think the mix just wasn't where it should be essentially, but
Looking
um
for more kind of case studies and kind of
yeah,
actually presenting and throwing some slides out and doing that whole thing.
I like a good slideshow every once in a while. It should be in the mix. And Victor says, hope to catch you in PI Live in London. We'll see you there, buddy. I can't wait to meet you. That's my partner in crime over at Affy Stash. All right. And as we wrap this up here, Wade, let's get to the category everybody cares about the most, and that is best dressed at PI Live. Who'd you see out there?
Paresh is always bringing the A game, man.
And
He's always looking sharp. He's always got the hat. I mean, he's easy to find. He's got his own style.
it is he's going to win this category every single conference that I do this with. Like his style just stands out, and Paresh never sleeps. From I assume he's a vampire of some sort because he is always just running around the conference, connecting people, pulling them over, and like connecting with other people. It's really quite amazing watching him go.
But one of my favorite people in the business because of that, because he's all about connecting people. It's not just about him. And it's like if he's talked to somebody he thinks would be interesting for you to meet, he will absolutely go out of his way to go and pull you together. So super cool guy for that. And it's funny, I've only been to one Paresh Connect party in my life because I'm just not like a club guy. That's not
Yeah,
not
I
my
don't
not
do
my
that.
thing
No.
necessarily. But I went to his event in Miami last year, and it was cool. I mean, and for what it is, he does the best out there, and he's consistent. He's on brand. He does it every time, and points to him for the dedication to making that work and building that brand and continuing to play it out.
Absolutely. And for my vote, I'm going to go with Richardson here with the bold move of a collared shirt in the pool, like very bold way about going about it. But love the smile on his face, and this is like this is how he got his sunburn. So love to see
The
it.
outfit the next day though was truly epic because he had like the glowing white button-up shirt and the like bright obnoxious red sunburn. It was amazing.
Ooh.
And it just made that sunburn pop. So I was
Oh,
just like, I saw him coming down the hall, and I was just like, oh man, you got your beach time yesterday. Shit. But yeah, another one of my favorite people in the business, Jeremy. He's just a great dude.
always fun to hang out with, always fun to have a conversation with, and super knowledgeable, great product as well. Like everybody loves working with them. So over at Upside. All right, Wade, this has been fun. Thanks for coming on and hanging out and telling the folks all about PI Live. If you want to get your tickets, I don't know how to get them. I'm not an affiliate of theirs, but I will be one day. Hopefully, I'll be at PI Live in October. If Matt Wood is willing to get me on as a podcaster again, I would love to do it. I had a great time doing my live podcast. I would love to see the venue like right in the middle of the show and like highlight it and get a crowd around going with it next time instead of like in the cabana. But beggars can't be choosers. I had a great time. Thanks for having me, Matt.
No, it's a great venue. It's a really cool venue. It's kind of like an old market building. It's multiple floors. It's like definitely a bigger show, a lot more exhibitors, and there's crazy energy there. It's the show in the UK for the industry. So there's other smaller ones, but That's the biggie. So it's a little bit different placement evolution, as a conference, but I definitely recommend it if anybody, does business in the UK or Europe. It's worth getting to.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Awesome. Thanks, Wade. We'll see you out there. Take care,
All right,
folks.
thanks for having me.
All right. Later.